I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we just beat Charles Oliveira. Ilia Topuria flatline KO Charles Oliveira. Look, I said he was going to KO Charles in the first. And you guys, some of you guys that are watching, yes, you said it was going to be closer than you think. Said, oh, Charles would be too big for Ilia. Ilia looked massive in there. Said, oh, the grappling was going to be an issue. It was not an issue. He got up. Said, oh, but Charles's pressure is going to be an issue. That's literally how he got KO'd, because Charles was the one that was pressuring, and his dumbass got countered. Oh, but Charles's kicks. Like, all of these things, all these different narratives. That's why I did a video debunking all the narratives of Ilia versus Charles, and now I'm the genius. I'm kidding, obviously. At the end of the day, a lot of you guys thought Ilia was going to win. So did I, but I didn't think it was going to be close. But I didn't think it was going to be like this. So Ilia Topuria, let's try to break down this fight. It was only a round, but the fight starts. Charles they just instantly clash, like two bulls, just like that. And Ilia, what I really liked right away was his jab. Jab to the body, jab to the head, jab to the body. He kept mixing it up. Jab to the body, jab to the head, jab to the body, jab to the head. And I think now we can say Ilia has... People kind of overlooked Ilia's jab. You know, a lot of people said, oh, Ilia's got a great right hand or a great right hook or a great left hook. He's got a great jab as well. He's a great all-around fighter. Let's just be honest here, right? So he has a great jab, and we saw in this fight, he was popping the jab a lot. And Charles, he did go forward. He wasn't changing his strategy, which respect. I mean, he said that's what he was going to do. He was going to go forward. And Ilia himself also said he was going to KO Charles in the first. So Ilia is a supervillain, and Charles is a bit of a dumbass because he should have tried to use his range. The guy is a rangy, wiry fighter with a longer reach than Max Holloway, and he was fighting like... I don't understand, but nonetheless, right? Ilia was using the jab really well, mixing it up and down, up and down. Charles, you know, he tried to use the clinch. He had a bit more success in the clinch than I thought he would. I thought the clinch was a bad idea for him. And you kind of saw that like before the KO, that I think Ilia landed like a body shot or something in the clinch. I think the clinch was a stupid idea. He had a bit of success with it, a little bit of success, but not that much. You know, it somehow gets to the ground. I don't think he takes down Ilia. I think what happens was... Oh yeah, okay, so he has Ilia against the cage. I'm going off my memory here. I don't have notes or anything. He goes against the cage. He has Ilia against the cage in a clinch. He's trying to get the takedown. Ilia kind of reverses into like a bit of a takedown. Now Ilia's on top. Then Charles Oliveira gets like a leg hook, which I was a little bit worried because you know, and he has like 2 attempts at it, 3 attempts at it. Ilia gets out of it, right? Then, you know, Charles is doing the Charles stuff where he's on his back with his hand behind his head. He's kicking his little feet, his little Brazilian legs. And Ilia's telling him to get up. He's telling him to get up. And, you know, obviously Mark Goddard, whatever the kid's name is. Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, Mark Goddard. That's the kid's name. He tells Charles to stand up. And it just, a couple seconds later, not that long later, just, you see a left hook. No, it was a right hand and a left hook. Very reminiscent of the Diego Lopez fight with Ortega, where he dropped him with like a right hand left hook. Except obviously Ilia Topuria has probably the greatest power we've ever seen in the sport, because he flatlined KO Charles Oliveira. Again, it was a right hand. The right hand already put Charles out. The left hook was just for funsies. So he puts him out with a right hand and a left hook just for fun. Charles's eyes are all glossy. And then Ilia just shatters every Charles Oliveira fan's dreams within a second like that. That's all it took, just one hand. And look, Charles, he did all right. Like, he landed a couple of shots. Nothing super clean. A couple of shots to the temple of Ilia. Nothing like super clean on the chin, though. You know, because Ilia, he has that very sort of, you know, stance where he tucks his chin. He has his guard up. So it's really hard to land clean shots on the chin. Whereas Charles... Though Charles has a good high guard as well, he leaves his chin up a little bit. Leaves his chin open a little bit as well. Ilia just did his thing. You know, it was a really fast-paced fight. Super crazy paced fight. There's not much to say, man. Ilia flatline KOs him. The fight's over. It was one of those where this pay-per-view, and I'm going to do a full card breakdown of this pay-per-view, but this pay-per-view kind of, it was the most we are so back I've ever felt after a card ever. You know, the UFC's had such a down period, a down year, but this card in particular is just all we need now is for Dana to get fired, and I'll be happy. No, I'm kidding. But no, actually, fuck Dana. But nonetheless, he flatlined KO's Charles. I didn't think I thought he was going to TKO, man. Drop him, a couple of hammer fists. We saw the hammer fists, but they were unnecessary. Drop him a couple of hammer fists. But flatline KO. When Charles Oliveira, and it kind of exposes lightweight a little bit, dare I say, because Charles Oliveira recovered from shots against guys like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. Recovered. Got up. Got the finish later on in that fight. Against Ilia, oh yeah, just flatline KO'd. That's it. Flatline KO'd. So, it's not just the power. It's the technique, bro. It's the technique. This guy has absurd technique. His precision, his timing. We've never seen nothing like this guy. And I don't know really what to say. There's not much more glaze I can do, man. He wins. He has 2 belts. Trying to be like Conor. No, I'm kidding. It kind of felt like that. But you know what I mean? He's not the featherweight champion, but no one beats this guy, man. There's not much I could say. No one beats this guy. No one beats this guy. It's just no one beats Ilia Topuria. You know, because Ilia Topuria, you got guys like Arman Tsarukyan. I think he beats Arman Tsarukyan. I'm sorry. I just can't pick against Ilia Topuria. He beats Paddy. He beats Arman. He beats Islam Makhachev. And I'm going to do a video on this. Again, and I've already said this, Islam Makhachev dodged a fucking nuke by moving up to welterweight. He dodged a nuke. So Ilia Topuria beats everybody. Then they brought in Paddy Pimblett after the fight, which Dana apparently did not approve of. He was very angry, which I thought was interesting because I thought that was oh yeah, also they're doing Paddy versus Ilia, it seems. But no, apparently Dana was not happy. So I don't really know what's going to come of that. He also said Gaethje should retire, which is funny. You know, he's like, yeah, you guys know me. When someone talks about retirement, they should probably retire. So he said Gaethje should retire. And then he actually slipped up, and he said something about Arman missed weight. He said Arman missed weight. He said something like, yeah, Arman missed weight. That's why he's not getting a title shot, or something like that. Which obviously the excuse was Arman injured his back, not that he missed weight. So they kind of just, Dana White's dumbass secretly revealed the real reason Arman pulled out against Makhachev. And it 100% makes sense. It makes sense now. It makes sense why they don't want to give him a title shot. It makes sense why he was not limping or anything. Bro, if you hurt your back, you would think he'd be a little bit injured, or at least fake it a little bit. But nonetheless, I mean, Arman Tsarukyan's an idiot. He's not getting a title shot. Gaethje's an idiot. He wants to retire. I could see them either choosing between Gaethje or Paddy. That's what I think. Gaethje or Paddy. They're going to probably sit down, really think about it. I mean, I could see I don't know, man. I want to see Paddy Arman. You guys know me. And I don't know. I mean, I think Gaethje versus Ilia is just... I mean, I've never been a big fan of Gaethje, so no, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's just bad news for Gaethje. I don't think he should try to take that fight. But nonetheless, this was a great performance from Ilia Topuria, as expected. Didn't think he was going to get the flatline KO, though. But again, he didn't look that small, man. All the narratives, man. I almost just want to... All the narratives. He's going to look too small against Charles. Charles is going to bully him. Charles is taller than him. Charles is stronger than him. Off of what basis, man? Off of what? It's just... I'm so glad. Ilia looked phenomenal in the cage, size-wise, frame-wise. He didn't get bullied by Charles. His technique is phenomenal on the ground, in the clinch. And he's the best striker of all time in UFC history. And he'd probably give top boxers problems. There, I said it. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But he's the greatest striker in UFC history, man. And he has some of the best power we've ever seen. He's already surpassed Conor McGregor and Khabib and all these guys. It is what it is. Ilia Topuria, too easy. There's not much else I can say. I feel very bad for Charles. All the Charles Oliveira fans. Man, we've been going back and forth. All the Charles Oliveira fans have been trying to explain to me why this fight's going to be so close. Yeah, but Charles has long reach and he has KO power and Ilia's a manlet. He's short, and he just does that in a round. And again, I knew he was going to get the first round KO, but not like that. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm Nostradamus or Quasimodo or whichever one it is. nonetheless, I'm going to get out of here. I think I'm sick, to be honest with you. So, but I'll try to even do videos if I'm sick, depending on how bad it is. But I do think I'm sick, sadly. Or maybe my voice is shot from the card. Who knows? The card was phenomenal. I'll be doing a full card breakdown tomorrow or in a couple of hours. I don't know. Whenever the fuck. At the time of this recording, in a couple hours, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Charles Oliveira, rest in peace. Let me not say that. Charles Oliveira, though, he's probably going to go back to working at the favelas in Brazil, maybe McDonald's. I'm not sure, man. Charles Oliveira, no, all jokes aside, he should retire. I think Charles Oliveira should retire. There's nothing left for him. And I think Ilia Topuria is going to go down as the greatest fighter of all time. Can't believe he did that, but it is what it is. We've never seen nothing like this, and I'm glad that I get to. I feel like in 5 years we're gonna be sitting back like, man, we were really in the Ilia Topuria era. No, that sounds like super glazed, but all I'm gonna say is John Jones, you've never done that to a fighter ever in your life, and people are already forgetting about John Jones, and he retired like 5 days ago, and no one's even talking about him anymore. So John Jones will never do that to a fighter. He'll never make the fans feel that way. Maybe he'll do that to his wife, but even then, he'll beat her via decision. So it is what it is. Like and sub, member in the description. Peace.